So this problem actually started since I was like pretty young. I always had dark circles under my eyes, and I was always tired. I just never got enough sleep. This summer, I basically went to like a mental health boot camp, and they were talking. That's why I tell you guys about how much sleep is so important for your mental health. So they're like the biggest number one thing that you should do to help improve your mental health is like having adequate and consistent sleep schedule. Having a consistent, adequate 8-hour sleep schedule every single night is really, really important. So like that was one of the main focus that boot camp would do for you. It's like helping you figure out how to form those good habits and any like medications or whatnot that you may need. We did like a whole breathing thing. We had a whole oxygen thing. It was a very long procedure, and they're like, hey, why don't you take this at home sleep test? And it's like this thing that you take home and it just monitors. Like the most it can do is monitor the positions you sleep in, how much oxygen you're getting, and your heartbeat. Those are the 3 things. And so when I did my sleep test, I purposely did not take my sleep medication. So I thought we would get a better pulse on how my sleep would go. And the results were my oxygen levels were really high. And which is not sleep apnea, because usually it's like you can't breathe, which is why you have sleep apnea. But my oxygen levels were like 99%. I moved around a lot in my sleep, but like there was no real issues. The one abnormality was that my pulse, my heart rate was at like, I didn't realize there's a resting heart rate for when you're awake and a sleeping heart rate. Sleeping heart rate is slower than your awake heart rate. My sleeping heart rate was just my awake heart rate. And they're like, something's wrong here. They said, okay, you're gonna go sleep in a lab so someone can monitor you. And I was like, okay, what's the big deal? So I did that Sunday night. I got there and this old man opens the door and he's like, hi. I was like, are you here for the sleep test? And I was like, oh, yeah. Like at this point, like I was walking in, I was just wearing my pajamas and a jacket, like covering me. Like my pajamas are comfy, and I just thought I'll just take off the jacket and go to bed and it'll be fine. And he doesn't have to see any part of my body. I did not realize there were 24 wires that he had to attach to me. Like on my body too. It had to go on my head, on my face, like across my like chest, and like one on my side. I thought I was just going to bed. I did not wear a bra. That was the most uncomfortable interaction I had. I was like, because he was like, oh yeah, you can take off your jacket. And I was like, I was going to take off my jacket when I go to bed. And he's like, well, I got to attach these wires to you. And I was just sitting there like, oh, He had me put the wires that were like closer to my body, so it wasn't too bad. And he was very respectful. And then there was a camera like pointed at us the whole time, so there was no way he was gonna try anything. But it was just like, why did I not think about this? He puts 2 wires like on your legs to see if your legs like move around. That's like 2 per leg. He puts one on your side to see if you like roll around. You put some on your chest to test like your EKG, like your heart rate or whatever. And you put some on your face. So it's like one's on your cheek to see if you grind, and one's on your throat to see if you snore or something. And there's like a whole bunch of other ones. And then here's the worst part. He was like digging through my hair, and he had a colored pencil, and he started drawing on my head. Like for some reason I just thought it was just going to be on my forehead, but no, it was like the entire head, like throughout your hair and everything. He was like pulling my hair aside to draw on my head, and then he got some like super sticky stuff that looked like gum, and then he just like booped it to your head, and he was like, this is really sticky, don't touch it. And then he stuck everything, and then like it took a whole hour to do so. And once he was done, he was like, all right, lie down in bed. Do you want a selfie with all these wires? And I was like, I guess. Oh, there we go. You see this? Look how many things are in there. Like, every single individual wire was attached to me somehow. The bed was really comfy, though. The bed was super comfy. And then they had, like, a camera watching me and infrared lights. So he basically, like, told me to go to bed right away after we finished the, finished putting on all the wires. Like, I didn't have a chance to read a book or anything. And I just laid down. And I just spent the night staring at the ceiling. I didn't sleep for very long. I just couldn't. And it was like not that great. And so this morning I got a notice on my health app that the technician who was watching me sleep put in his notes. So I don't have the full complete thing of how the sleep study went. I just have like a little glimpse of what he saw me do at night. So apparently, here is why I am not sleeping well. It turns out I have central apnea. Mild central apnea, which means nothing is blocking my airway. My body just decides that it doesn't want to breathe. It just doesn't want to. And the reason I'm so tired is because my brain is like, hey, you're not breathing. And my body's like, nah, bro, we're chill. And then the brain goes and wakes me up so that I can breathe because I'm awake. But unconsciously, my body refuses to do it by itself. Like, it's one thing having sleep apnea. Like, okay, like some things are obstructing. The airways are like hard to like it's hard for the air to travel or whatever. No, nothing's wrong with my airways. Everything is fine. It just doesn't want to. What can you do against that? I don't know yet. I gotta wait till I see a doctor in 2 weeks. Have you tried breathing? Literally, I've been like manually breathing all of today. Because I couldn't get it out of my mind.